chance to grasp the two champions over 200 metres, but Lyles is never to be denied his shining moment. He has the last word.
Noah Lyles just shared something nobody saw coming about his upcoming wedding. The fastest man in the world revealed plans that have everyone talking. And trust me, this is not your typical athlete love story. Noah Lyles sat down with People magazine at Comic-Con in New York City. He was there to celebrate his new clothing line, but what he shared about his personal life stole the show. Noah told everyone about his wedding plans with his fiancée, Junelle Bromfield. And the theme is something you would never expect from an Olympic athlete. The couple is planning an anime-themed wedding. Yes, you heard that right. The man who just won his 4th straight world championship is filling his wedding with cartoon designs and decorations from Japanese animation. When asked about the details, Noah smiled and said, "We have a few things. We have quite a few things anime-related." Now, before you think this is just a small detail here or there, understand this. Anime is not just a hobby for Noah Lyles. It is a major part of his life and his relationship with Junelle. The wedding is set for spring 2026, and Noah wants it to show who they really are as a couple. He explained that he wants the wedding to be a genuine mirror of their energetic, imaginative, and comedic characters. But here is where the real story begins. Noah actually introduced Junelle to anime, and let me tell you, it did not go well at first. In fact, Noah made a pretty funny mistake that almost ruined everything. Noah decided to start by showing Junelle manga. For those who don't know, manga is like a comic book from Japan. People read it to enjoy the same stories they see in anime shows. Noah thought this was a great idea. He gave Junelle her first manga book and waited for her to fall in love with it. But there was one problem. A big problem. Noah forgot to tell her something super important. Manga is read from right to left, not left to right like regular books. So Junelle started reading it the wrong way. She was completely confused. The story made no sense. The pictures were out of order. She had no idea what was happening. Noah laughed when he remembered this moment. He told the reporter, "I got her into manga first and she didn't get into it. But she told me later that the reason she didn't initially like it at first was because I forgot to tell her that you read it from right to left instead of left to right." He admitted, "I might have been a little rough with it though." So Junelle put the manga down and thought it was just not for her. For years, she stayed away from it. Noah probably thought he had failed. But then something amazing happened. A few years later, Junelle decided to try manga again on her own. This time, she figured out how to read it correctly. And guess what? She loved it. Noah explained what happened next. She said a few years later she went back and started reading manga by herself, and she started falling in love with it. Now both of them enjoy anime together. It has become one of the special things they share as a couple. Let me tell you about Noah and Junelle's relationship timeline because it is actually pretty interesting. The two of them first met back in 2017. They went on a first date in 2018. But things did not work out right away. They connected on social media in 2019 and stayed in touch. Finally, in 2022, they started dating for real. After 2 years of dating, Noah proposed in October 2024. It was a private event, just the two of them. No cameras, no big announcement right away, just a special moment between two people who love each other. Junelle is not just Noah's girlfriend. She is an Olympian too. She runs track and field for Jamaica, her home country. At the Paris Olympics in 2024, she competed in the women's 400-meter race and came in 8th place. She also ran in the 4x400-meter relay. So both of them understand the hard work and dedication it takes to compete at the highest level. When Junelle talks about their future together, you can hear the excitement in her voice. She told reporters earlier this year, "When I think about spending my life with Noah, I feel very excited because I know there's so much the future holds for us." Noah jumped in and added his own thoughts. He said, "With the goal being that we grow old together with great kids and great grandkids." Now, you might be wondering why Noah loves anime so much. Where did this all start? Well, it goes back to when he was just a kid. Noah was 9 or 10 years old at a sleepover with his friends. His buddies asked if he wanted to play a game called Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 2 on their PlayStation 2. Noah and his brother had never heard of Dragon Ball Z before. They started playing the game, but Noah was completely lost. He had no idea what was happening. His friends told him it would make more sense if they watched the TV show. So that night, they stayed up way past bedtime watching Dragon Ball Z on Toonami. Toonami was a special block of shows on TV that played late at night. It introduced thousands of American kids to anime. Noah remembers that night clearly. He said they watched shows like Dragon Ball Z and Inuyasha. He thought to himself that these shows were different from regular American cartoons. He was hooked immediately. From that night on, Noah and his brother tried to find ways to stay up past midnight just to watch more anime. Anime became such a big part of Noah's life that he almost became a manga artist instead of a runner. He actually went to a performing arts school where he studied drawing, painting, and sculpting. His plan was to move to Japan one day and create manga stories for a living. But then his parents got divorced, and Noah had to move to Virginia. That is when running took over his life and changed everything. Even though Noah became a sprinter instead of an artist, his love for anime never went away. He explains that anime taught him important lessons about life. He told this to the reporters. "The way I view my career, my world, my life, is as a main character." He sees himself as the hero of his own anime story. The struggles, the victories, the adventures, all of it reminds him of the shows he loves. Noah thinks anime connects with athletes because the stories show people pushing past their limits. He said, "We resonate with it so much because we see perseverance, character growth, and stories that go beyond the limits of reality. As athletes, we have to believe in ourselves and our gifts so hard. It goes beyond what the world might think is possible." At the Paris Olympics last year, Noah showed his anime love to the whole world. He posed like Luffy from One Piece for the cameras. He performed the domain expansion move from Jujutsu Kaisen. He even had Yu-Gi-Oh cards tucked inside his running uniform that he showed off after his races. But the real anime celebration happened in Tokyo at the 2025 World Athletics Championships. Noah traveled to Japan, the birthplace of anime, and won his 4th straight 200-meter world title. Only one other person has ever done this: Usain Bolt. Noah is now the second person in history to win 4 consecutive world championships in the 200 meters. The fans in Tokyo went crazy for Noah. They knew about his love for anime and they wanted to show him how much they appreciated it. People started giving him gifts, lots and lots of gifts. Noah received Goku figurines, Dragon Ball Z toys, anime towels, blankets, pictures, and so much more. Even though it was overwhelming, Noah tried to bring home at least 80% of the gifts he received. So where does he keep all of this stuff? Noah has a special room in his house just for his anime collection. He was quick to point out, "I don't have a shrine, but I have a room that's full of my collectibles, so it's going in that room." So there you have it. Noah Lyles is planning an anime-themed wedding for spring 2026 with his fiancée Junelle Bromfield. The couple will celebrate their love with decorations and designs inspired by the Japanese cartoons that brought them together.
Eating up the track. Can he catch Laird? He does so right at the tape. 1992 for the fabulous.
Noah Lyles has been running circles around his competition for years. But now, a 24-year-old sprinter just made a move that could change everything between them. Joseph Fonbulla is switching coaches. And this isn't just any coaching change. This is the kind of decision that tells the world he's done being close. He's done finishing second. The Liberian-American sprinter recently left his longtime coach Mike Holloway and joined Ken Harnden at Auburn University. He's now training with some of the fastest young sprinters in the country, including Kanyan Sola, Ajayi, Maka Charamba, and Jacoby Tharp. Why does this matter? Because Fonbulla has been chasing Lyles for a long time. His personal best in the 200 meters is 19.83 seconds. That's fast. Really fast. He won multiple championships while running for the Florida Gators. But when it comes to racing against Noah Lyles, something has been missing. Lyles has won the 200-meter World Championship 4 times in a row. He's the Olympic 100-meter champion with a time of 9.79 seconds. He has 6 World Championship gold medals. When you line up against Noah Lyles, you're not just racing a fast guy, you're racing history. And Fonbulla knows this better than most people. He's been in the blocks next to Lyles. He's felt the pressure, and he's experienced something that most sprinters don't talk about publicly. Lyles gets inside your head before the race even starts. Let me take you back to the 2023 Tom Jones Memorial. Fonbulla was getting ready for the 100-meter dash. He was locked in, focused, ready to run. Then Noah Lyles walked over and tried to shake his hand. Not once, multiple times. Fonbulla told the story on the Ready, Set, Go podcast with Justin Gatlin. He said,
"Here comes Noah trying to shake my hand. I'm like, all right, bro, I'm chilling. Like, stop.
Yeah.
Nah, shake my hand. I'm like, oh, come on. You know?"
It sounds harmless, right? Just a friendly handshake. But when you're minutes away from racing, when your mind is focused on the finish line, when you're trying to control your breathing and your nerves, someone breaking that focus can throw everything off. And that's exactly what happened. There were multiple false starts. One of them was Fonbulla's. Everything felt blurry. His former coach, Mike Holloway, was yelling at him to stay focused. But the damage was done. Fonbulla admitted,
and I was mad because he was trying to be funny and shake my hand. So I was like, bro, come on now.
When the race finally happened, Lyles ran 9.95 seconds. Fonbulla ran 9.98 seconds, 0.03 of a second. That's the difference. That's how close Fonbulla was to beating one of the greatest sprinters in the world. But close doesn't win medals. The 2024 Tom Jones Memorial was similar. Fonbulla described what happened to Justin Gatlin in detail. He said Lyles was coming around shaking hands, trying to be all funny while everyone else was locked in. To the crowd, it probably looked like Noah being Noah, friendly, confident, fun. But to Fonbulla, it was a mental attack. He said, "I was locked in, the finish line's in my sights, and here he is trying to shake my hand like it's a reunion." After the race, Fonbulla couldn't even remember seeing the finish line. He said, "I didn't even see the finish line. I just ran." Everything was gray. Everything was confused, and he blamed it on Lyles throwing off his mental game. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Justin Gatlin understood exactly what Fonbulla was feeling. Gatlin raced the world's fastest men for almost 20 years. He knows what it takes to win at the highest level. And he told Fonbulla something important. Gatlin talked about Michael Jordan and the Last Dance documentary. Jordan would make up reasons to get angry before games. He would create motivation out of nothing. Gatlin did the same thing. He created a persona called Jay Gat. He said,
"Ruthless." Jay Gat was the guy on the field who didn't care. You trying to take money out of my pocket, food out of my mouth. You know what I mean? Like, we're trying to battle. Now, Jay Gat would only come out every 9 seconds or 19 or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
That mentality is what separates good runners from great ones. Gatlin told Fonbulla,
"My day, you know?
Yeah.
I see that in you. I see that kind of person that you like. If you tap into that emotional state, that finish line is going to become closer and closer for you all the time, like you said."
Yeah.
Fonbulla agreed. He talked about his training and how his coach knows exactly how to push his buttons. Some days his coach would say, "We're thugging today," and push the whole group to their limits. Those were the days when something special happened. Fonbulla said, "You feel that desperation. You chase that finish line like it's life or death." Both Gatlin and Fonbulla understand something important. Racing at the highest level isn't just about who's the fastest. It's about who can handle the mental pressure. And Noah Lyles is a master at creating that pressure. Lyles doesn't just beat you with his speed. He beats you before the gun goes off. He studies his opponents. He knows how to get under their skin. He's calculating. And it works. Even when his rivals know what he's doing, it still bothers them. But here's what makes this story even better. Despite all the mind games, despite the frustration, Fonbulla actually respects Noah Lyles as a person. In fact, he defends him. When people compare Lyles to Usain Bolt, they often criticize Noah for being too loud, too flashy, too much. Bolt broke the world record with 9.58 seconds back in 2009. Since 2012, nobody has even run faster than 9.7 seconds. Bolt was the fastest human ever, and he did it with style but also with humility. Lyles is different. He's loud on social media. He talks trash, he wears wild outfits, he has a podcast. Some people think it's too much, but Fonbulla doesn't see it that way. He told Pulse Sports, "People compare Usain Bolt to Noah Lyles on charisma. At that time, Usain Bolt spoke with his times, spoke with being humble, good vibes that made the sport grow. But this day and age, when it comes to social media and other sports that are gaining more access and viewership, maybe this is what the sport needs." Fonbulla explained that track and field needs someone like Noah to bring attention to the sport. There are other amazing athletes like Grant Holloway, Rai Benjamin, and Faith Kipyegon, but when it comes to social media clicks and views, Noah is the one bringing eyes to the sport. Fonbulla said, "Him being him is bringing press. Good, bad press is still press." Off the track, Fonbulla says Noah is completely different from his public image. He told Mozart Sport, "Noah is a wonderful guy. He is a person you can easily talk to. The media paints a different picture of him. He described Noah as a family guy who loves his friends and wants them to succeed. Fonbula even said that training with Noah taught him something valuable. He said, "No matter what the day is or what you are feeling, you have to get out there and get it done. People are paying tickets to come see you run. Maybe you do not feel like practicing every day, but it does not matter. The stadium is packed, and I have to put up a show." But learning from someone and losing to them are two different things, and that brings us back to Joseph Fonbula's coaching change. This is more than just switching training groups. It's a statement. It's Fonbula saying he's ready to be more than just close. He's ready to beat Noah Lyles. New coaches bring new techniques. New training partners bring new competition every single day. The Auburn group is filled with young, hungry sprinters who want to prove themselves. That environment could be exactly what Fonbula needs to take the next step. He's already proven he can run with the best. His 19.83 inches, the 200 meters, puts him in elite company. He recently won the 200 meters at the Kipkeino Classic in Kenya with a time of 20.40 seconds. He's fit, he's fast, and now he has a new team behind him. The question is whether he can finally beat the mental game that Noah Lyles plays so well. Can he use his frustration as fuel instead of letting it break his focus? Can he flip that switch that Justin Gatlin talked about? Tokyo is going to be the stage where we find out. Noah Lyles will be there trying to defend his titles. His rivals will be there trying to take them. And Joseph Fonbula will be there with a new coach, a new team, and a new chance to prove that his bold move was the right one. The 24-year-old isn't just chasing Noah Lyles anymore. He's coming for him.
A battle between these two, and Gout working so hard to get to him, and he gets there. Gout takes it by a meter and moving away.
The world of sprinting just got shaken by a 17-year-old no one saw coming. His name, Gout. The Australian teenager didn't just break a record, he shattered one that once belonged to Usain Bolt. From school tracks in Queensland to headlines worldwide, his rise feels unreal. Coaches can't explain it.
And I went, yeah, all the way, dude. If I can't do it, know full well I'll put you in the right spot.
Rivals can't believe it, and fans are asking the same question, how is this even possible? Every race he runs bends the limits of speed, and every stride looks like a glimpse into sprinting's future. On June 24, 2025, the Golden Spike meeting in Ostrava, Czechia, became the stage for a new chapter in sprinting history. Competing in his first major international race, Gout ran the 200 meters in 20.02 seconds, a new Australian record. The teenager's effortless stride carried him 0.2 ahead of Cuba's Rainier Mina and nearly 0.6 faster than Team GB's Nathaniel Mitchell-Blake. With that single run, he shattered Peter Norman's 56-year-old national record and eclipsed Usain Bolt's under-16 world best. Standing next to the scoreboard, beaming under the stadium lights, Gout knew he had arrived. "I feel good," he told reporters. "New personal best. New national record. I don't feel pressure, because as soon as I step out on that track, it's just me by myself and what I've got to do." It wasn't just a win. It was a signal to the world that the next generation of sprinting had arrived, and it carried an Australian passport. Born in Ipswich, Queensland, to South Sudanese parents who migrated to Australia in 2005, Gout grew up in a large family of 7 siblings. His father worked in a hospital kitchen. His mother managed the household, and both instilled in their son a sense of humility and determination. He showed talent early, dominating school meets with a natural stride that left others behind. By 15, he was running national times. By 16, he had broken the 200 meters under 18 record with a 20.04, faster than Bolt at the same age. Coach Dee Shepherd recognized early on the extraordinary potential in Gout. She saw someone who moved with rare fluidity and raced with a steely composure that belied his age. From the moment she brought him into her training squad, she understood his life was about to shift dramatically. She told him that from now on, there would be fewer nights out, fewer distractions. The sacrifices demanded by greatness were already beginning to take shape. By 17, Gout had become one of the most talked about young sprinters in the world, with over 200,000 followers, a major Adidas deal, and World Athletics promotion ahead of his Tokyo debut. His rise was meteoric. Even Usain Bolt took notice, praising his talent but cautioning that success at the senior level would demand discipline and patience. Gout's secret isn't just power, it's precision. His rival and training partner, Lachlan Kennedy, revealed that Gout's technique defies convention. His heels don't touch the ground, Kennedy explained. We call it heel recovery. It's off the charts. Even Bolt didn't have that. It's why he maintains top speed so easily. In sprinting, the smallest biomechanical differences can decide victory. With less contact time per stride, Gout glides rather than runs. The person who wins, Kennedy said, is usually the one who slows down the least. That efficiency has analysts calling him the most naturally gifted Australian sprinter since Kathy Freeman, and possibly the country's best ever prospect in men's sprinting. Just months after Ostrava, Gout made his senior debut at the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo, stepping onto the same track where Bolt once ruled. At only 17, he faced legends like Noah Lyles but refused to be intimidated. In his semi-final, he ran 20.36, faster than Bolt's own first World Championship semi-final time from 2005. I've earned my place here, Gout said calmly. These athletes are stronger, bigger, older, more experienced, but at the end of the day, we're all running 200 meters, and regardless of how old you are. Though he didn't reach the final, his composure and performance spoke volumes. The world had seen the arrival of sprinting's next great talent. Fame hasn't changed him. Despite headlines comparing him to Bolt and sponsorships rolling in, Gout still lives like a regular student. He drives a modest Hyundai i30 and jokes about fighting with his siblings over video games. It's crazy, he laughs. I've had people ask me for photos, even a baby whose mom wanted me to sign her forehead. Behind the grin and record times is a serious mindset. Gout is still finishing high school while training at elite levels, maintaining his studies in psychology, and embracing the challenge of patience alongside ambition. He has said it's vital to remind himself that progress takes time. Meanwhile, his manager Templeton has worked to keep him grounded, rejecting many media requests and stating that the focus is on preserving normality for a teenager whose athletic journey has already begun in earnest. Gout's rise has also become symbolic. As one of the few high-profile black athletes in Australian track and field, he carries the hopes of a new generation. His father, Bona, once suggested changing the spelling of the family name to Gut to reflect their heritage.